Close your eyes and step back more than 14 centuries. The air is thick with dust. The ground trembles beneath marching armies. Steel clashes against steel, and the desert echoes with the sound of war. This is Yarmouk. On one side stands a mighty Roman Empire, armored, disciplined, confident in its numbers. On the other side, a smaller Muslim army, outnumbered, exhausted, yet standing firm with only one strength, unshakable faith in Allah. And somewhere within this course, a lone rider appears, fully armored, face completely veiled, fighting with a fury that startles even seasoned warriors. The soldiers whisper in disbelief, "Who is this?" No one answers, not yet. This was not just another battle. This was a battle that would decide the future of Sham. The Romans had gathered an army said to be more than 200,000 strong. The Muslims were barely 30,000. Leading them was Khalid ibn Walid radiyallahu anhu, the sword of Allah. Days of fighting passed. The sun burned. The nights were restless. Men prayed before charging. Women stood behind their lines carrying water, bandaging wounds, whispering du'as with trembling lips. Among those women stood one whose heart carried a fire different from the rest. She was born into a household where honor was not spoken, it was lived. Her father was a respected man of Banu Asad, known for strength and loyalty. But the closest bond of her life was with her brother, a warrior feared by enemies, a man who rode into battle with no armor on his chest, only absolute trust in Allah. From childhood, she watched him prepare for war. She learned patience from the Quran, strength from prayer, and courage from surrendering her will to Allah's command. She was not raised to seek battle. She was raised to stand for truth, no matter the cost. Then came the moment that would change her destiny. During a violent Roman assault, her brother was surrounded. Horses screamed, swords flashed, and before help could reach him, he was captured. The news spread through the Muslim camp. Some lowered their heads. Some felt fear crawl into their hearts. But this woman went silent. She performed wuzu, prayed 2 rak'ahs, and when she stood up, she was no longer just a sister. She was a believer answering a call. She wrapped a dark veil around her face, strapped armor across her body, mounted a horse without hesitation, no announcement, no permission. She rode straight into the heart of the battlefield. Her sword moved with deadly precision. Her strikes were fearless and relentless. Roman soldiers staggered back. The Muslims' army stared in shock. Even Khalid ibn Walid radiyallahu anhu paused. By Allah, he said, "This warrior fights like a storm." Yet still no one knew her name. When Khalid radiallahu anhu finally confronted the warrior and demanded identity, the rider stopped. Slowly, the veil was lifted. A silence fell over Yarmouk. A woman stood there, eyes burning with faith, voice steady, unshaken. She said, "I am Khawla bint al-Azwar. I fight because my brother is captive and because Allah is my witness." In that moment, history took a breath. Under her guidance, a rescue unit stormed the Roman camp. Her brother was freed. Later, when Muslim lines wavered and retreat seemed possible, she stood again, leading the women forward with tent poles, stones, and fearless hearts. They cried out, "Where will you run? Paradise is ahead of you." Retreat turned into resistance. Resistance turned into victory. And so the sun set over the plains of Yarmouk. The swords grew quiet. The dust slowly settled. But history had just found a new voice. The victory was not written only by generals, nor sealed only by armies. It was written by faith. A woman who was never commanded to ride into battle, who was never trained to seek battle, stepped forward, guided by nothing but her trust in Allah. She did not fight to prove strength. She did not fight for recognition. She fought because truth was threatened, because dignity was at stake, because belief demanded courage. On that day, Yarmouk did more than defeat an empire. It shattered a lie. The lie that courage belongs to one gender. The lie that faith is passive. The lie that women stand only behind history. Her footsteps echoed across the battlefield, not as noise, but as a message. A message to every generation that would follow. That when faith lives in the heart, fear loses its powers. That when Allah is trusted completely, even the impossible bends. And long after the banners were folded, long after the warriors returned to home, her story remained, moving through time like a quiet flame, not shouting her name, yet never allowing it to be forgotten, because history remembers her not simply as a woman and not merely as a warrior, but as a believer who rose when destiny called. And that is why centuries later, her legacy still rides with the wind across the plains of Yarmouk. If this story moved something inside you, if it reminded you that faith can be stronger than fear, then don't let this moment end here. History is just not meant to be heard. It is meant to be remembered and carried forward. By liking this video, you help keep these forgotten voices alive. By subscribing to this channel, you become part of a journey that honors faith, courage, and truth. And when you share this video, you pass on a message that says, faith is not passive, and destiny can rise from the most unexpected hearts. So before you leave, take one small step, press subscribe, because somewhere someone needs to hear this story just as much as you did today. Thank you for watching, and may peace, strength and faith travel with you long after this story ends. Allah Hafiz.